Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video is the final video in our August series, and make sure you pause here to get your measurements and then come join me at the table. But if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and then hit the little bell next to it so that way you get notified whenever I upload new content. All right, and we're going to hop on into the card making today. So we're still using Limoncello from Catherine Pooler. And now that we're on our fourth card, it does all fit inside the package itself that I was using because we've used up some of the papers. So what we're going to do is I took a piece of the gingham paper and created sort of like the top piece. So I know the bottom based off of the measurements on the sketch itself. I want to say it's like 1.5. Hold on one second. I'm going to try and pull it up real quick so I can see it big. Okay, yeah. It's 1 3/4 the length, and then of course the width of it matches the width of the card. And since our white matte paper is 4 1/8, I'm going to make the width of the pattern paper 4 inches. So that way I have a nice border on the 3 sides. And then what I did was I figured out the rest of my 5 1/4 to get my top part, the gingham paper, because I already had the measurement of the pattern paper on the bottom. Because you could have done this where you just put the pattern paper down on the bottom part and then put your large square and then your ribbon, and that's the card. But I wanted more pattern paper. So we have the polka dots on the bottom, the gingham on top. And then to hide the line going through the middle, I realized I had it flipped upside down. So I had to turn it real quick before it stayed. I'm going to grab those strips, and because the square is going right across the middle, I grabbed just a little bit, some of the extra pieces that I had, and just created what will look like a full line, even though we know in the process of making it that it does not meet in the center. So that's why, just like Chrissy Marcotte, who I follow on YouTube, she always keeps her little bits. I keep mine as well because it just makes sense for, especially for card projects like this where you could hide part of the area that is not meeting. Okay, so now that I have the pattern paper on, I'm going to grab my ribbon, which I had off to the side. And we had used a lot of ribbon last month, and I still have plenty more. And when I saw this, I was like, you know what? Let's continue using it. Why not, right? It's perfect. And it matches pretty well with this pattern paper. So once I put down my ribbon around the front, I'm going to lay down some more score tape and then peel that off and put some more tape on the back so we can attach it to the card front. Just like with the, what are those things called? I just lost it that quick. Peel-offs. Like with the peel-offs, with the ribbon, I like to put it underneath so that way when I attach it to the card base, I don't have that risk of it coming undone or pulling apart because it's safely secured between the paper and the base. And then once we have it lined up, we're going to go ahead and press that down. And then for the main square, I grabbed another pattern paper. And on this one, because of I didn't have the stitching, I didn't use a die cut. I could have, but I didn't. I just cut it to the sides that were on the sketch itself. And then we're just going to glue it straight down. Put some tape on it, once again using the wet glue also, so that gives us time to be able to move it around or pull it back up if we place it down incorrectly. So if you ever watch these videos and wonder why I use both, that is why. And then once I get it pretty much where exactly I want it, I'm going to start to press it down. And then I'm going to grab my other piece of the ribbon and we're going to make a knot. And the knots tend to work out best for me. I know the bow is kind of like up in the corner, but I really like the idea of this being right in the center. And I like the way it looks. So, boom, boom. And then I just kind of held the ends up together, followed the line similar to the one that was already cut and trimmed. And that's how we get our final piece. And then, in the center, I'm putting the sentiment. We're going to have it stand up with foam squares that are in my stash. And then this is birthday wishes. And it was funny. Once I put it in the center, I was like, you know what? It kind of looks like a birthday gift because of the square and then the bow up at the top. And it wasn't even planned. But for this one, I'm just going to put 3 of the larger black gems right in the bottom right, as even as I can, and we're going to call it done. So we're just going to squeeze a little bit of glue and put the gem into it to keep it secure. And then once I notice that it was a little off, I'm going to try and move them just to kind of get it placed in the right spot. And then there's our final card. I mean, and you could do this at Christmas time. Make the big square like glitter, red glitter, green glitter, and then just in your sentiment put Merry Christmas or, you know, whatever sentiment, Happy Holidays, whatever sentiment you want to use. And you can mass produce this because it doesn't take a whole lot. It really doesn't. It's something quick and easy. You can make a lot of cards and it still have a lot of impact. And if you do use glitter, I definitely suggest using the foam when you're attaching your sentiment to it, and even put a little bit of glue on the back of the foam if you're using textured paper, okay? So there's our final project. Let me see here. I'm going to try and move it up some so you can see, and then we'll just go side by side. So there they go, the final projects. I used 2 different pattern papers, and I think on the one, instead of it being gingham, it was striped. So it's just fun using up paper in this collection. If you have enough, go for it. So thanks again, you guys, for joining me. Like I said at the beginning, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I do read them and try to respond to everybody. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll look forward to seeing you with our next video, which will be the first one in September. What pad will it be? Have a good one, you guys.